Welcome back, people, to Bun&Cheese Reviews, and this is a new topic, of course. There will be one every week on a Sunday. This is top 5 antagonists in video games. So, if you like, it is the moon to the sun of last week, because last week was the main characters, obviously the heroes and protagonists. Now we're crossing over to the other side. So, let's waste no time, and oh yeah, one thing I didn't say about last week's, I'll probably put it in the description, is that when I'm doing video games stuff, I can't count video games that were made that were made off comics, so DC Marvel stuff, or made out of other sort of media. So Star Wars obviously came before movies and comics as well, before video games. So that is like a no-go basically. So stuff like the Spider-Man PS4, Arkham Knight series, Star Wars Unleashed, I can't list any of those because they're their own category. If you ask me, that I might do a part 2 where I can list those basically. There's a lot of good villains in there, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good villains. So let's not waste no time, right? And get into number 5 of top antagonists, Baldur. Now, for a God of War antagonist to crack the list of mine, this is a big thing. And that's solely because I've only ever played the newest edition on the PS4. I have no idea if I'm doing any other character dirty in this series, but for me, when I started this game, I was hooked within the first 30 minutes. And that's because that's when Baldur first was introduced. Obviously, if you don't know who Baldur is, he is commonly known as the Stranger in the series when you first meet him. Then you learn his name later on. He's a slender-looking man. And put that in quotation because, you know, he's not really a man, if you know what I'm saying. Right? Who claims to feel no pain. And he's looking for somebody to make him feel something, hence seeking out Kratos, of course. The first battle between them has to be some of the best cinematography I have seen in a game, with each character punching each other over buildings, across mountains and into trees. A perfect way to show that Baldur means business, and even though that initial fight doesn't exactly end well for him, the secrets revealed later on in the game enhances his character even more so. And I completed the game with the memory of him to live on forever. So that is number 5, the Stranger. Number 4, Knuckles from Sonic, of course. Now, I think he first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which I don't think I've ever actually played. But I've always known of him from when I was a kid. He's just cool. There's nothing more to say. So, number 3. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Right. Now for real though, this character has always been massively underrated, from his design being all red, which can be viewed as a polar opposite to Sonic's colour of all blue, to his gloves with spikes on. There is just something about that which appealed to the 8-year-old me, and I'm sure does to many other kids in the world, and to his brash and somewhat dim-witted personality, but not as dim-witted as he is in Sonic Boom. Do not watch that show if you want to watch anything Sonic related. Please save yourselves from that pain. Just do it.
So, Phil? Oh gosh, you're cute. Well, look at you. Look at you.
Which related to many of us as we was younger. I know he bounced between being friend and foe early on in his characters in the early games, and he's now primarily a friend of Sonic's, but he is on this list for his boss fight in Sonic Adventure, one which I was very, very hyped for as I played through the game back in the day. Number 3, Gary from Pokemon. I'm surprised myself that a Pokemon antagonist has made it onto this list, but I think it would be an injustice to leave Gary off. This is discounting the anime version of him, so please do keep that in mind. I remember playing Pokemon for the very first time when I was 9 years old, and an old school friend gave me his Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red game, because it was old stuff for him. So Liam, if you're out there and you're somehow watching this, you a real one, man. I ain't gonna forget that you a real one. Because of that kind act, I had countless memories from that game onwards. Every single gym I went into, I checked the podium at the front to find Gary had already completed it. and before me, and it just filled me with even more motivation to be the Pokemon champion. Every single interaction from Route 2 to the final league match and his snarky remarks made me want to be a better trainer. And I know technically that counts as a rival, but because he was the last major obstacle of Generation 1, I've counted him on this list of antagonists. Number 2, Silver Pokemon. Another Pokemon character. This is mad, isn't it? What I've got to say about Silver is very similar to what I said about Nathan Drake in the main character version of this list. Check that out if you haven't already. But this is a young boy that learned from his mistakes throughout the course of the game. He started off stealing one of Professor Elm's starter Pokemon and initially treated his Pokemon poorly, but through clever parts of dialogue as you get deeper in the game, he realizes the error of his ways and sets off to become a better trainer. Even though it's not mentioned directly in the game, I'd like to say he has an interesting parentage to another well-known character of the series, adding another layer to his already impressive development. Check it out online if you want to find out who he is related to. Right, now we're at numero uno, number 1. Who is number 1? You want to know who number 1 is? It is Vergil. Devil May Cry. Now, I bet a lot everybody saw this coming in, yeah, and you're screaming, Lamar, Bun&Cheese, it's a cop-out, you can't do this. You had Dante at number 1 for the main protagonist one, and trust me, it's not a cop-out, and here is why. He is number 1 on this list for a very good reason. He is the twin of Dante, and the fact that he is evil is a simple yet effective plot device for the series as a whole. This is because of 3 reasons. The first being he is a personal connection to the main character, so every time they go into battle, the emotion and stakes are instantly higher than a normal boss fight. The second being the mythological undertone of them being twins, as in the past twins have been referenced as 2 sides to the same coin, with one being evil and the other one being good. I must reiterate, that is a mythological undertone, so don't take offense if you're a twin and you're watching this, please don't. The last being the personality contrast between him and his brother, as Dante is often usually laid back and willing to save everybody that he comes across, and Vergil usually has a strict and serious demeanour with plans of world domination. Vergil also has his own devil trigger and a unique fighting style that has always, to me, looked much more refined than Dante's, who usually has his hair spiked back, wears a long blue coat and wields a katana, proving to be just as much as a badass as his brother.
I'll try it your way for once. Remember what we used to say? Jackpot.
So that is my list of my top 5 antagonists in video game history. As it says, these 2 lists might get a part 2 simply to include DC, Marvel, Star Wars, all that stuff. It won't be next week though. Next week we'll probably stay on this video game scene for a bit. I've got something planned for video games, and then whenever I've finished all I can think of for video games at the time, then we'll move on to something completely different. I'm into a lot of stuff, as you know, so that's that. But I will see you next time, and I hope you like the intro and outro I've used for this. I used, if you want to know the site I used, I will tell you in the comments down below. Just comment down below, and I will see you next time.